Followed by Mayor Lindsay. What's that?
I didn't know if I want public participation, and I want to speak on one of the consent agenda items, but I'll talk fast.
Okay.
Okay, starting now. First of all, Mayor and Commissioners, I am so proud of all our Lake Worth Neighborhood Association. They were all unbelievably accessible in the REAP grants that they applied for. 6 neighborhood associations, along with the NAPC, are responsible for bringing in a total of $15,500 in grant money. In addition to that, I got a lot to go here. $7,800 was awarded to what we consider our nonprofit partners, including Jeannie Fernsworth and the gardens that are going to be put at South Grade Elementary. Neighbors Helping Neighbors and the Cottages of Lake Worth were also successful in their grant application. Altogether, the City of Lake Worth Neighborhood Association and our nonprofit partners walked away with over $23,000, which is significant when you understand that $81,000 was the total amount of grant money that was awarded to all of Palm Beach County. So yay, Lake Worth. And is this the time to speak about the consent agenda items too?
Yes.
All right. Also, this is to, and I'll have copies for all of you. Dear Mayor and Commissioners and City Manager Mike Bornstein, the Neighborhood Association President's Council has, by a unanimous vote of the Council on March 1, 2014, authorized and directed me as Chair of the NAPC to express the Council's enthusiastic support of a baseball spring training facility in John Prince Park. The Council recognizes the very positive and measurable economic impact this facility could bring to our city, as well as the immeasurable enhancement to our city image. We applaud the city's initiative in making these overtures to bring Lake Worth closer to the economic vitality we all desire. At this initial stage of exploration and concept development, the Council also fully supports the sharing of information as it becomes available regarding this important opportunity in as timely a manner as possible with all the neighborhood associations, and especially with those neighbors in close proximity to John Prince Park, as they are most directly impacted should this project move forward. To facilitate the flow of information between our neighbors and our city on matters of consequence is the mission of our neighborhood associations, and the NAPC stands ready to assist in this important exchange in any way we can. A more formal letter of support for this project from the NAPC to the County Board of Commissioners has also been authorized by the Council of Presidents and will be presented to the County Commissioners later this week. On behalf of the Neighborhood Association President's Council, I remain at your service, Mary Lindsay, NAPC Chair.
Okay. Trip, COC. Followed by Jennifer Marshall.
Good evening. Okay, so a baseball park. It's no easy task in the proposed location. And many of you may already know, but because there's deed restrictions on that land, I'd just like to read to you just for a moment. On that land, it says that should the land be used for any other purpose other than a park or forest, title to the land reverts back to the state. So it's not just Palm Beach County, we'll leave the state on board as well. So in the favor of quick fixes, let's say, perhaps the city could give Major League Baseball a 100-year lease on the golf course. You know, while you're at it, maybe throw in Bryant Park. And then you could revitalize the downtown, you could get the Gulfstream Hotel back in business, you have traffic coming to the beach, a lot more action there. So, you know, if the city is in love with this concept of a stadium that will just really help the city, perhaps we'll see the golf course and Bryant Park on the next consent agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Followed by Peter Tim. Both.
I'm Jennifer Marshall. I was the founder of Rollo, our neighborhood association 8 years ago.
Speak up, please.
Which one? Okay. I founded Rollo, the neighborhood association 8 years ago. Was president of that. I was also on the financial advisory board for the city. I urge the commission to vote no to this resolution considering John The proposed stadium does not solve Lake Worth's problems. It's a distraction from real issues, which is code enforcement, reducing financial dependency on utilities, repairing the streets. Let me clarify a few misconceptions. The proposed stadium will not increase the values to the surrounding areas. Our area is not something where we need to have a stadium next to it. Who wants to live next to a stadium with the noise, traffic, the lights, the disturbance? I worked for 4 years with the city to silence train horns on CSX lines, for 4 years to do that, so we would not have 100 trains going through a day and hearing that. And now you're going to increase the noise dramatically with something like this, which is ridiculous. The stadium will not cure the city's blight. We do not have blight on the western side of the community. Blight is found on the letter streets, where code enforcement needs to be more involved. This is like putting your foot in a cast and hoping it will cure a broken arm. We are not blight on the west side of the community. The stadium will create property tax revenue for the city of Lake Worth. No way. The city will not receive any property tax revenue from it. The proposed location is not even in the city's jurisdiction. And furthermore, this will have no impact on reducing our dependency on utility revenue to fund the general fund. And we know that is what is funding this city. The decision to put a stadium near the western side does not make sense. I have the right to the quiet entitlement of my home. Please vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Peter Tim, followed by Oscar Santello.
Peter Tim, yes, I was going to talk on your speech over there, but then I looked at the consent agenda and I found several things on here that needed some explanation. First of all, the contract with Matthews for $53,713, and that is funded by GBD funds, but it's still an awful lot of money. As to issue a revocable permit for property at 1501 North L Street for a 20-year lease so they can put in a vegetable garden or maybe park a car there. I don't know whether that is the street that you are talking about or the alley that you are talking about, because it is on a corner. If it's a street, do you mean everybody can plant stuff in it? Or if you approve it for one, you've got to approve it for everybody. You just can't pick and choose the people. If it's the alley, once again, those alleys are public right-of-ways. The telephone company uses them, the city uses them with their trucks for the poles and everything else. And once again, if you're going to do it for one, you must do it for everybody. And I don't think you should. Now, I, years ago, was going to plant corn on my front lawn when we had a different commission that wanted us to plant vegetables. So I thought corn and tomatoes would go good. But I have since changed my mind, and I don't want anybody else to grow this stuff either. As to the domestic partnership, getting a tax entity, they'll get $500, something to do with medical for the employees. It makes absolutely no sense to me, and maybe you could make sense of it for me, because I think if everybody's going to get $500 because they're domestic partners, it just doesn't make sense. And as for the baseball time, I agree with the last speaker. It's a very good idea, but it's not in Lake Worth. It's outside of Lake Worth. I don't know where you intend to put it. The only place I can see is 6th Avenue South, and that is very congested, and I don't think there is room for it.
Thank you.
I kind of go in 3 minutes.
Thank you. Oscar Santello, followed by Dale Hewlin. Oscar? No? Dale? Dale? As a comment, your baseball would be great for Lake Worth. Nadine Burns, followed by Mike Hill.
Good evening. I thought that consent item got moved to new business.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that correct?
Which item?
C was moved to new business.
It was moved to new business.
Speak about it then or no?
No, next.
Oh, okay.
Next, thank you. I'll hold on to that. Thanks. Raymond Gonzalez. Goncalves. I'm sorry. Okay, Mike Hill, followed by Mary Ellen Healy.
Hey, hi, how's everybody doing? 3 questions. What are we going to do about our junk cars? They're all over the place. I counted 10 today that have expired tags for over a year and a half. Some are missing pieces, like no hood, no engine, 4 flat tires. That's number one. Why can't we use the jail trustees to clean up these abandoned houses? Instead of having the jail trustees use to mulch or whatever that city workers get paid to do, use the jail trustees to say, hey, let's spend 5 hours on this house today. And it would look a lot better. You have 200 houses or 2,000 houses. You have 5 inmates. Every day they do a different house. And why are the balances up still between downtown, the Downtown Pizza, and CJ's Restaurant? I talked to your office the other day. Whatever, they were supposed to be down last Friday. They're still up. Is it a temporary thing or is it permanent?
We answer at the end. I'm sorry, Mike.
Okay, no, I'm just putting it out there. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Mary Ellen Healy and Vincent Cerniglia. Otherwise known as Milton.
Yeah, we have trouble separating. And it's our comment on the proposed spring training park. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Join us. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back. So let's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Like you mean it. Take me out to the crowd. Let me hear ya. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
That's a first. Dave Palumbo, followed by Dustin Zacks.
Good evening. I am here as one of the business owners downtown in full support of the spring training facility. The economic impact that it can bring the area is just staggering. We've built a lot of momentum now with the beach being done, with it being open. I think bringing a facility like this to town would definitely put us over the top. You know, I was going to stand here and tell you about the economic impact. You know, we all know what it is. It's staggering amounts for businesses, hotels, property values, everything.
Quiet in the chambers, please.
But you know, I was at the restaurant today, and a gentleman came in and presented me with a plaque, and it was for sponsoring one of the basketball teams this past season. And he said when he first got here, the baseball program had over 1,200 kids in it. Right now, they're down to approximately 700, and that was in the short 13, 14 years. You know, bringing a facility like this, affecting the youth of this town, I think that's even more than the economic impact. I think the kids need something like this. I mean, it would just be staggering, just for the kids of this town to have an activity for them to be able to do something like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this one I think is item 9E. Is that? Okay, just take a look at that. Greg Rice? It's something to read, but it's the wrong item. You have 2, Greg. This one goes to the other one too. You're confusing me, City Manager. Greg Rice is going to be followed by Ms. Sharp.
Greg Rice of Lucerne. I want to start out by congratulating, I know we won't have a chance to do this Thursday night, all of you on earning another term as our leaders in the community. Elections and the election process in Lake Worth is something to watch. It's more than a blood sport. It's ought to be on ESPN or either Comedy Central. And to think for the first time in my recent memory that we are going through a year with no election, I think sends a mandate not only to the city but to the county and the surrounding communities as well, that we're finally starting to get a little stability. And it's because of all of you and your efforts. Apparently, everybody thinks you guys are doing a swell job because nobody, not one person, thought that they could help drive the bus any better than those of you that are driving the bus right now. So I want to thank you. Thank you all so much for that, because it's important to me. As I often say, I walk around the community, not just here locally, but around Palm Beach County as well, and I hear all about all the things that Lake Worth is either supposedly doing right or doing wrong, and for once I'm not hearing the comments that I used to hear about some of the things that were connected to some of the political processes that we have. So my hat's off to you, and also I know that property out west is not Lake Worth, but it would certainly impact. I remember when they opened up the West Palm Beach Municipal Ball Field, and my dad, who was a janitor at an elementary school, didn't have a lot of money, but it was an affordable recreation pursuit for us that if it wouldn't have been there, I probably wouldn't have had a chance to participate in it. And Dave, yeah, I wanted to play ball too, but I was picked as second base, not the position, the base. You guys laugh. I've got clean marks that you wouldn't believe. But I do hope that we can pursue and work with the county on trying to find a suitable home so we don't lose baseball here in Florida. It all goes to Arizona. Thank you.
Shop 1311 South Conway. I have 3 cards in.
I know, what is that?
Well, I tried to get your attention to ask, do we have 1 chance under non-agenda and consent, or do we have 3 chances?
One chance, and it's been like that way since we adopted it.
Well, it wasn't
Okay.
you when you adopted it.
Okay. No
No
problem.
Now I'm going to talk fast. I agree with Mr. Timms on cleaning up the road at 1500 North Avenue, because the guy wants to park a car and he doesn't even live in the city of Lake Worth. He lives in West Palm Beach. So he wants to park the car, wants you to give up half the street so he has someplace to park the car. I'm totally against that. Totally against that. Number 2, the ball fields. Well, we didn't have a ball field in Portland, Maine, but we were big Red Sox fans. And we used to drive an hour once a week during season to Boston to watch the Red Sox play. And I don't know what it did for the economy of Boston, because there's so much going on in Boston, but I know what it did for the kids. And it really, really helped the kids to have a ball field run. Now, I know you don't own John Prince Park, and I know you're not asking them to help you build a ball field there. But I'd like to see where they're going to build it. I'd like to know what corner it's going on. And I have no problem with your resolution asking them to go forward. And I forgot what the 3rd one was, but I wouldn't know it unless I looked at the agenda. So it would have been very important to begin with.
Okay, Mr. Zacks, this one was the right card? Is that what you said? Okay. He wants me to read this. Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners and Mr. Tim, I rise in absentia of item 9E, and I apologize for not being present, but as you all know, Tuesday night is Hockey League night. As I interpret the wording of this resolution, it appears that we are merely saying that we are in favor of further explorations of the possibility of bringing baseball to our little town. And as we all know, there's nothing wrong with a little exploration and experimentation. I mean, we were in college once, right? I do expect there will be substantial opposition tonight, but I urge my fellow townies to take a step back and consider the best and worst possible outcomes of this process. At worst, we will be subject to a long, divisive, and drawn-out process, after which the Commission will just vote the way it wants anyway. Every time I ponder the failures of the beach, I'm reminded of this ugly insipidness. Two-way traffic, no tenant upstairs, cats everywhere. That's a long story. Yet I have faith that this Commission, should the scheme get beyond the exploratory phase, will hear and consider the voice of the entire community. And at best, by contrast, we could have a new attraction in town of which we have precious few that are known to the populace at large. Lastly, let me say I believe I'm speaking on behalf of many of the under a certain age crowd when I rise in support of this resolution. I suspect that many opponents of this resolution will be, shall we say, a bit more seasoned than I. Let me remind them that part of the fun of living in Lake Worth is being open-minded, accepting, and receptive to change. This resolution embraces possibilities, and it's for that reason that I support it. I would also support exploring Highlight or a hockey arena, but I digress. Dustin Zaks. He makes me read it. He doesn't do it himself. Okay, this one also. Dawn Sailor. Do you want me to read this? This gives families a great positive way to spend time together, keeps the young players off the streets and focused to meet their goals of becoming professionals themselves. This also brings lots of work and money to the city. Peter Lapretti. Oh, please, yeah, come on up.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Peter Lapretti, and I've been a resident of this beautiful city for the past 5 years. I'm here tonight on the parking issue situation with Nichols. I'm not sure whether I understood Commission Service motion prior to this, but I understand that probably is to ask the city manager to probably review the parking restrictions and situation and possibly bring a report back to the Commission. If that is the situation, then I think that this is what we want as residents. As you know, Madam Mayor, many of us come from different parts of the country, from New York, from Massachusetts, even as far as from cold Canada, and we love the city. We, some people think that this is our second home. For many of us, this is our first home. We really love the city, we love the neighborhoods, we love the people that are here. And so, to make it difficult for us to go to the beach and enjoy such a beautiful place that we don't have, it is disheartening and disappointing. And I hope that the Commission Service understanding or amendment will be carried, because it makes us much more at ease by enjoying the facilities that we have here. I know that it takes possibly a motion in council or further deliberations, but we truly trust that if you can give us an opportunity to compute and to be heard, it would be very much appreciated. So I don't know what the process is and what it will be, so we hope that either Commissioner Survey or the city clerk could give us some sort of understanding of where we go from here, so that the group that are here tonight and they're here because of this specific issue will be knowledgeable of what the next steps will be and how to make the proper representation. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Robert Hodge put a card in reference, bring the Astros and Nationals to Lake Worth. This is a great idea. It'll bring more jobs to Lake Worth, keep baseball alive in a child's eye. Remember, the children are the future. Please keep them in mind. Also, it will help the economy. Phil Spinelli, followed by Katie McGivern.
Phil Spinelli, Harvard Drive. I would like to reiterate what we said earlier. You guys are doing a great job. I'd like to see the way it's going. That's why I'm not getting as involved as I used to, because I know we have good captains steering the ship in the right direction. I'm in favor of the baseball field. I think it would be an asset and attraction. I think it would be a major asset for the city. It would connect not only our beach, our golf course, our downtown, but the west side of the community also. I have a lot of friends who live near or right next to Roger Dean Stadium. They have never had a problem with noise. They've never had a problem with traffic, and they have smaller roads than we do leading to that area. So I don't see a major impact on any of the surrounding neighborhoods. I think we should continue to pursue it. Thank you.
Thank you. Katie